I don't think you're a proper representation of the masculine black man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you guys are.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Like, your OG is Wendy Williams.
Ain't nobody gonna disrespect me on the show that I created and think you ain't gonna get when you leave, because that's, I'm just saying.
He brought up the fact that he believes that Charlamagne the God and the Breakfast Club are on payroll by Jay-Z.
What's good, peeps? It's your boy JP back at it again with another reaction video, and today we're reacting to Poetic Flacco. Shout out to Poetic Flacco. I be watching some of his content sometimes, and buddy be really spilling down the media, you know what I mean? So we about to get into it. But today's video is Damon Dash threatens Charlamagne and exposes DJ Envy. I don't know how this is about to go. I really try to stay away from celebrity stuff, but this one seemed pretty interesting, so we just about to get into it. But before we do that, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. We keeping it PG. There's a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. You feel me? So without further ado, let's just get into the video.
Damon Dash went on the Breakfast Club earlier today, and the entire interview was a huge car crash, man. Damon Dash went off on Charlamagne the God, threatened to beat him up. It was very clear from the first second of this interview, Damon Dash came in with an agenda. And the agenda of this interview was to get revenge on the Breakfast Club for all the smack they've been talking about him over the last year or so.
I don't think you're a proper representation of the masculine black man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you guys are.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Like, your OG is Wendy Williams.
Before we even continue, we kind of have to pause real quick and take a step back and discuss, how do we get here? How do we get to where Damon Dash is on the Breakfast Club calling Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy's masculinity as men in question? He even told Charlamagne, your OG is Wendy Williams. That's to say that Charlamagne the God gossips for a living and gossips like a girl. He called Charlamagne the God a girl multiple times during this interview. Now, they've gotten to this point because Damon Dash was very upset about the commentary they've been given about Damon Dash over the last couple weeks, maybe the last year. More specifically, when they was discussing 50 Cent owning the rights to Paid in Full that was once owned by Damon Dash, they took the opportunity to take a dig at Damon Dash finances, even referencing the interview they did with Damon Dash 10 years ago, where Damon Dash is telling them to be a boss and not employees. They used that opportunity to say, aha, Damon Dash sunned us 10 years ago, but look what happened 10 years later. We up in Damon Dash's po.
Figure out, how did he lose?
How did he own it?
How did he lose the rights to Paid in Full, or did he even own the rights to Paid in Full? Because I just want to know the business. Like, Dame is always teaching the business. He's always teaching about ownership and being a boss. So I just want to know, how did 50 end up getting the rights? Because I thought Dame had the rights. I would assume. I don't know.
But are we still talking about this boss conversation? Like, is that a conversation that we're still having? That's the first thing he said. 50 Cent is his boss, and 50 said that's his partner on it. He's EPing with him, so I guess they're partners. But I hate this boss conversation because I hate the fact that people be like, I don't need no boss. I don't want no boss. Well, sometimes not having a boss will lead you into foreclosure and only having assets to lead up to $2,400.
Damn.
Yeah, that's true. It's not everybody's meant to be a boss. You know what I mean? Sometimes I question my own. I have that mindset myself where I don't like working for nobody. Like, not working for nobody, I ain't gonna say that, but I don't like being told nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I do have that issue myself. I ain't gonna lie to you. So sometimes I have the mentality of, of wanting to do my own thing, but not necessarily be a boss. You know what I mean? I just think that I would like to be in a space where I'm working for myself and I'm doing, making money on my own terms without needing the assistance of a 9-to-5 or anything like that, where I can, hustle up my own bread on my own time. You know what I mean? Using my own skills. So, but sometimes the risk of not having a boss, when you lack certain traits, which is like certain levels of discipline and stuff, can lead you in a rabbit hole of complete disaster. So I could feel him on that. But I know he's taking a shot at Damon Dash, so we're going to see how this go.
You can't keep having this boss conversation without having a real conversation about entrepreneurship and what you need to do as an entrepreneur. We can't keep having these conversations.
They posted that old clip of him getting at you on Breakfast Club.
I ain't see that in a long time.
Got you a little hot this morning, huh?
Nah, that clip is amazing. That clip is amazing. If you see what happens within 10 years and then you look at that clip, you be like, oh man, somebody made a bad decision.
Well, I will.
What Dame Dash said to DJ Envy 10 years ago is obviously still lingering. DJ Envy still feels away, which is why DJ Envy is kicking Dame Dash back in. Now, the interaction, if you guys don't remember, Dame Dash told DJ Envy that he was a slave, and that he was a slave because he works at the radio station and he can't leave the radio station to his son. Even though DJ Envy, passionately, by the way, because Envy was screaming at the top of his lungs, was trying to explain to Dame Dash that because of the radio station, he now makes a lot of money and his son don't ever have to work a day in his life if he don't want to. Dame Dash dismissed Envy and said, that's not enough. You still an employee, so you a slave. And that made Envy tight.
That's my point. You have to understand what you're doing in business because you got to do what's best for your kids. What's best for your kids is to put your money into something, distress, go through all of it, so when your child becomes a man, he doesn't have to work for nobody.
Right, well, that's the whole thing.
You can just pass it to him.
Now, you talk about...
So if you're going to work 20 years in a business or 15 years in a business every day over and over again, and your son can't work here whenever he feel like it, you clowning me.
I don't want him to...
I mean, I can understand Dame Dash's point, you know what I mean? Like, because you can't pass down the empire that you built. You could pass down the income, but one is not more, I ain't gonna say one is not more efficient or superior than the other, but whether you pass it down a boatload of finances or whether you pass it down a business, passing something down, because you can pass down a business and the person you pass down the business to, your son, your daughter, your nephew, whatever, they could crash it and ruin the reputation of it. That happens a lot. So, and you can pass down money and they can blow it. And so, I mean, I get what he's saying, but one is, as long as you passing something down outside of debt, I mean, you doing your job as a man. Regardless, not everybody's built to be to own a multi-million-dollar business to pass down. Maybe you're just a multi-millionaire and you're gonna pass down millions, and they can create their own business out of that. You know what I mean? Or they can create. They start off on a foundation where they don't need to work a 9 to 5, and they can just explore their talents and utilize the benefits of the world without any stress of wondering where their next paycheck gonna come from. And that can allow them to explore their creativity and create the next Rockefeller or whatever the hell. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
But that's me. I'm not saying if you owned it. Wait a second. Time out.
I don't need a check.
That's stupid. You should be.
Time out. Because he enjoy it, not because he want a check.
You're wrong.
I'm here because
I like the check.
Wait. Time out. Time out. You're lying.
I don't need.
Before you lose your control, just stay focused.
Like you say, do your homework.
So here, listen to me.
I work here because I enjoy it.
Why don't you listen?
I work here for free.
Who could work? Would you ever enjoy being a slave?
I'm not. It's not a slave. This is what I enjoy.
That conversation between...
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. A mother effer called me a slave. I ain't gonna lie. As DJ Envy, when conversations start getting disrespectful and you start using buzzwords to get under my skin, that's when I be like, hold on. So what we gonna do is you gonna watch your mouth before I jump across this table and smack the dog out you. That's what you gonna do. I'm gonna tell you this one time. We can have this conversation, we can be civil, but you gonna watch your mouth. Before I jump across this table and smack the black out your ass. I ain't playing with nobody. You're not about to sit up on a platform where I'm at and think you're gonna do. I will smack the dog out you. Fuck the job. Come on here and start disrespecting me and my family, and when I'm providing for my family, you get smacked real quick. All due respect to Dame Dash, I don't know him. I'm just speaking in general. If people talk to me like that, start using buzzwords because you know those words will get under my skin, yeah, and these hands gonna go across your face too. Hey, we gonna pick one. You pick one, I pick one. We can handle this like men, or we handle this like civilians. You just choose.
Damon Dash and Envy was important. It was one of the most important conversations I think the black community has ever received in the last 10 years. Now, the conversation was great in terms of promoting boss culture, promoting ownership, but where I feel like that conversation had somewhat of a negative impact on our culture is because boss culture has gotten out of control. People now feel like boss culture is the only way out. And if you decide to be an employee, you are less than. People even use employee as an insult now. Like, for example.
And I can understand. Like I said, I'm guilty of that sometimes myself, not putting people down as their employee. But I do, when you got talents and skills and potential, that's really me. I have a lot of potential, right? And when you have a lot of potential and you choose not to tap in on it, it kind of can, you know what I mean? But if whatever you do in life, whether that's you working for somebody, you doing whatever, if it makes you happy and you feel like you're serving a purpose, by all means, don't let nobody shame you out of that. But if, in my case, what I do as a 9-to-5 is not my calling. God has told me time and time again, almost every day he reminds me this is not for me. But because I need a check, I show up to that mug every single day. And don't get me wrong, I like helping people in the job that I do have. I ain't gonna say profession because it's not really a profession, but in the job I do have, I would say I do help people. But with all the skill sets, me being a professional videographer, me being able to do this YouTube thing, me tapped into other industries and stuff, it just don't make sense for me to limit myself to my 9-to-5 because that's where the security of my money come from. I just really need to use it as a tool. But God remind me every time that this is not where you need to be at. You cannot be clocking in at this place for another 25 years, 30 years. You cannot be doing that. I'm not retiring at no 60 or no, I'm not retiring over there. But I'm better than that. And it ain't because I'm on this boss culture thing. Is that when you have skills and potential you need to tap into, you need to tap into it. Now, if you multifaceted and you can do a lot of things, then by all means you choose your income, you choose your income supplier. But for me, I do my 9-to-5 because it's just secure, not because I want to be there. I'm just there because I'm there for a paycheck. I'm just keeping it a stack. It is what it is. But yeah, let's continue.
I'm somebody who works for No Jumper, but I also have my own media company. I get called an employee as an insult when I don't see nothing wrong with working for a larger company while still having your own company, and it doesn't really interfere with what you got going on. And
I agree, because that's how I do. I got my video production company that I do. I doing this YouTube thing. I'm a videographer for another brand, and I also have a 9-to-5. You know what I mean? And I do podcasts. So, it's just tapping in everywhere. Obviously you want to make sure you straight somewhere before you start branching out, right? Because that could defeat the purpose. But yeah, no, I agree with him.
DJ Envy, he works at the radio station, but he's been able to utilize that to start other companies, and now he's a boss in his own right with those other companies, but he's an employee at the radio station. But that gets looked down upon. So I do believe Dame Dash did help carve the boss culture we currently see.
And I want to say, because most people that start off, your money need to come from somewhere. You need a sponsor. Let's look at it like that. You do need a sponsor. When you starting off doing anything, you need a sponsor. That's just what you need. So whether the sponsor be, you got rich parents, rich family members, a trust fund, a job, you scamming, maybe you selling drugs, maybe you doing OnlyFans, maybe you doing some other stuff. But your money got to come from somewhere. Maybe somebody sees what you're doing and they want to invest in you. You need a sponsor to get anything off the ground. You cannot get it off the ground without nothing. I mean, even with this YouTube stuff, like my laptop, this mic, this thing that I got holding the mic up, my computer, all the little gadgets I got. My video production, my videography skills, my video production, and my job help pay for all this stuff. So now I can produce these videos with no extra cost. But I had to get it from somewhere. You know what I mean? So, and that's just something to think about. You need a sponsor. Unless you scamming people or stealing, your money got to come from somewhere, is all I'm saying.
Within ourselves, however, he did somewhat help.
It's not about where the money come from. Well, in some cases it is. But it's not about where the money come from. It's what you do with it and how you flip it to create a situation that's more beneficial to you.
Preaching ownership would never be a negative. Now, when Dame Dash came to the Breakfast Club this week, though, Dame Dash came with an attempt to discredit them, with an attempt to let the culture know, hey, these aren't the people y'all should be listening to. They're not credible. But do I believe that Dame Dash accomplished his mission? I don't. I think Dame Dash fell short because the angles that Dame Dash took or used to try to discredit him ain't really hit like that. Like, it was hilarious. The conversation was funny, but it ain't really hit or resonate. Like him calling Charlamagne the God gay or a girl. I don't think anybody looks at Charlamagne the God and thinks, yeah, he is the example of masculinity. Charlamagne the God is somebody who, like, he's funny, he's a straight shooter, and for the most part, he's been a staple in the culture for a while now, so he's grandfathered in.
And he did something right, because like he said, he's a staple in the community and in the culture. So for Dame Dash to throw whatever his version of what a man or his OG looks like onto Charlamagne just makes Dame Dash look a little what's the word? It makes him look a little bit more Matrix like he following the Matrix type shit. Like you setting the example based off your own perspective and values and not taking other people's perspectives and values into question. And I think that as a man isn't what moves the world forward. The world got here because the world got to where it is right now is because people took other people's perspectives, ways of thinking, and morphed it and made something out of it. Not because they was some macho, stand up, smack is around type of man. You know what I mean? Talking about, if I punch you in the face, you ain't gonna do nothing. He much of a man to sit there and allow you to tell him that and not smack you right there for saying that. But to each his own, right?
We don't look at Charlamagne the God as, I don't know, Andrew Tate or somebody, right? So trying to attack his masculinity doesn't really hit the same because Charlamagne the God, isn't successful because he presents himself as an uber masculine guy.
We're different. Like, I'm not the kind of guy that would, I'd rather get my ass whipped than run. But you're proud that you ran.
Yeah.
I'd rather get my ass.
I ain't gonna lie. When I saw this last night, I was laughing because I was just distraught.
And it ain't no disrespect, but I kind of think you're gay. You just act a little gay.
How do you say that and say no disrespect? No, bro. That's disrespectful. Who are you talking to on my show?
You got a problem with gay people?
Not at all. I've got a problem with people that pretend they're not gay. So let me tell you why.
But what if?
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
This is hilarious. I love
you're
what
gay.
you're doing. This is hilarious.
So what I'm saying is, you might, because you started in gossip, which is is very feminine, and you want people to listen to you, and that we want people that represent masculinity, because men need to be doing what they need to do as men. They don't need to be worried about girl stuff. Do you think he's masculine? Would you want this man around you if 10 guys jumped you?
Okay. This is my problem. This is my problem when niggas talk about masculinity. Why does he resort to, do you want this guy around you if 10 guys jump you? Why does masculinity always have to fall into why do you have to measure the value of masculinity when it comes to violence? So 10 guys jumping you, do you want this man around you? This man is a multi-millionaire. I want this man around me in most cases. It don't have to be when a nigga jumping me. He runs a company and is a staple in the community. He ain't do that on accident. He figured it out. And he mastered it because he's still here after all these decades, all these years. So, I mean, obviously, when it comes to masculinity and running a successful business, he know how to do something right. Some will argue better than you. But why do you have to measure it when it comes to violence? That's so low vibrational and not thinking, bro. Like, as a man, you should be smarter than that. What does violence have to... Why do you measure masculinity when it only comes to violence with your dumb ass? I'm not going to be rude because I could be disrespectful, but I ain't going to do that.
Run, and you'd have to run with him. I like my women...
Because ain't nobody going to disrespect me on the show that I created and think you ain't going to get smacked when you leave because that's, I'm just saying.
I feel safe when they're around me. I don't tell people, like, and I'm not saying that's your way. But you're just not masculine. I've seen him run. I looked at a whole reel of, there's like a thing that says how many people bark. There's stuff that how many times you talk about other people's genitals. You real masculine men don't do that. You said that some guys was throwing you kisses because they liked your paws butt and you went back. That's gay.
Why do you have such a problem with gay?
I don't have a problem. I have a problem.
He has a problem with that's like gay and violence. Most dudes that he on this red pill crap or whatever he on. Maybe he watched Andrew Tate before he showed up to the Breakfast Club. But it's either they got a problem with gay people or they got a problem with violence. Like, what's wrong with y'all, bro?
Wait, no. Yeah, that is why I pause. There's a lot of people like you. That's crazy. There's a lot of people like you that are gay that pretend they're not.
Black men can't be gay.
I understand where he was heading to. It kind of fell flat because Charlamagne the God and Andrew Schultz been sex playing each other on Brilliant Idiots for a decade now. Nobody is looking at Andrew Schultz and Charlamagne the God and thinking, yeah, these guys are the epitome of straight.
But who cares? All due respect, I ain't on no sus nothing. And all due respect to that community, they do their thing. But niggas trying to get the bag. Niggas trying to get money. Niggas trying to take care of their family. Who the fuck cares about how another nigga move and how quote unquote macho masculine that looks like? If the nigga get what he need to get when it comes to women or whatever he into, let him do that. My problem is, bro, the nigga is rich. He's wealthy. That's what we need to be focusing on. Like, I'm trying to get to the bag, bro. Like, what we talking about?
I think a lot of people already question Charlamagne and God's sexuality. That does nothing. Now, later on in this interview, Dame Dash does hit on something that if he would have hit on this earlier, I feel like if he would have stuck to this, he would have had them panicking.
Okay.
He brought up the fact that he believes that Charlamagne and God in the Breakfast Club are on payroll by Jay-Z because it doesn't make sense why they have unwavering loyalty for Jay-Z, why they run point for Jay-Z, why every crisis Jay-Z is in, they come and play PR. Dame Dash was on to something with this one.
Okay.
But he ain't give us enough of this.
Talking. Okay? So, because when y'all do that, I forget what I'm going to say because I be like, da-da-da.
You're not saying shit,
No, you don't think, of course you don't think that. I think you're gay. That's fine. I do. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. After the Puff stuff, cause let me say this. This is my assessment. I've never heard you say one thing bad about Jay-Z. Not one.
He's not in the room. You shouldn't talk about him.
Don't tell me what to do.
You said you shouldn't talk about men when you're not in the room.
You're interrupting me.
Now you're doing the girl stuff.
I know him. I'm giving you an example, right?
You used to know him.
Can I talk? You're upset. Can I talk? Can I talk? I've never seen you say one word because you talk bad about a lot of people, but you never said one time. And you walk around with his face on your chest. Is that a airplane shirt right now?
Paper planes, yeah. I wore CEO stuff.
Can I finish? No, I never seen it. Let me finish.
What you mean?
Let me see it.
You gave us
Can
CEO
I talk?
stuff.
Can I land the plane? Let me land the plane.
I can't wait.
Let me land the plane. So I'm thinking to myself, either you got a crush on this man or he's paying you. One or the other. Did you buy that shirt? Yes. You went and bought that? They didn't give it to you as much as you say nice things?
You're not supposed to support black business?
I doubt you bought that shirt.
What you mean?
Anyway,
and I buy CEO
so I
too.
think you're gay. I'm sorry.
And I think you're broke.
Okay.
That's the route you would take if you wanted to really discredit them.
But first of all, the LGBTQ or whatever, y'all need to go after him because the way he's using, I think you're gay to dismiss anything he has to say is peak homophobic shit. I'm just saying. But I don't know. Man, I don't know about the whole Jay-Z thing, man. That might have some truth. I don't know. The industry does its thing. But shout out to Charlamagne. You know, I like that he's a staple. And I rock with Jay-Z. I ain't got a problem with nobody. You know, that's why I try to stay away from celebrity stuff. Because I've met people in different parts of the industry. Maybe not mainstream. I've met people and maybe I will. And I don't really want to cause no conflicts, bro. Because I'm not really in it. But at the end of the day, bro, y'all got to chill, bro. Because calling the gay to dismiss anything he got to say, and then, like I said, I heard him say on a clip that I saw last night on social media that like if he punched him in the face, you wouldn't do nothing. Boy, you not telling me that on my show and think you gonna just walk out of here with nothing. I'm leaving here with something, and I don't mean on no homo shit. But anyway, shout out to Poetic Flacco. Flacco did his thing, you know what I mean? So shout out to him. And yeah, y'all gonna be a boss in your own right. No shitting on employees. Everybody gotta win somewhere. Matter of fact, you making YouTube videos and you are a part of a partner program, you are a YouTube employee. They just pay you very well if you are good at it. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to get employed by YouTube. So hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. There is a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. You feel me? But anyway, I guess I'm out. Till next time. Remember, there is nothing impossible to they who try. I'm out. Dose.